What's up, self-healers? Lisa Lightfeather here. Welcome to my channel, Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. Today, I wanted to come on and speak about the topic of triangulation amongst the narcissistic empath dynamic. And so triangulation is a common tactic that's used by narcissists to cipher energy. They will use this to provoke jealousy, insecurity, or control. They normally do this triangulation between their intimate partner and possibly their intimate partner's friend, or it may not even be their friend. It could be somebody on social media, constantly liking another person's post, another man's post, or another woman's post, or making comments under their post, and so it's a mutual friend. So they like to triangulate amongst mutual friends, right? Triangulation can also be done within the family dynamic, where one parent or the other may triangulate the children with that parent. You know what I mean? Or they might triangulate two children. But primarily, today's topic is based off of the triangulation tactic amongst intimate partners with the narcissist and the empath. So when the narcissist is unhealed, there's lots of insecurities, and your intimate partner knows your insecurities more than anybody else, right? They're in the same house with you, they're in the same bed with you, whatever the case may be. So they know your insecurities. And so they may bring in a third party, preferably one of your friends, right? They may just bring them up in a topic, like just say, hey, I noticed that Tanya or Felicia, I noticed that they've lost weight. They looking pretty good, and the whole time they know that you are struggling with your weight, or you're feeling insecure about your weight, or whatever. So they may do that. They will use triangulation when they want control over you, right? So they may triangulate you. Like if you say, I'm thinking about getting a job. The narcissist might say, well, they might mention someone else who's a mother, a stay-at-home mom, and how well behaved her children are because she stays at home. Because narcissists hate for you to come up in any way. Like if you say you're going to get a job, or if you say you're going to go to college, they immediately go into survival mode. They immediately go into the tactic of tearing you down and discouraging you from your goals. It's a quick, energetic feeding. So they can get that energy really quick, because as soon as they mention another person that they're comparing you to, they can see that it takes your energy, that you're just like, why is he comparing me to her? Or why is she comparing me to him? And so they're basically pitting two people against one another. So, and then if you say something about it, like, why would you keep talking about her losing weight when you know that I'm struggling with my weight? Why would you do that? Then they'll gaslight you. Oh, that's just your insecurity. Something's wrong with you. I was just making an observation. I wasn't talking about you. I was making an observation about somebody else. See, that's your problem now. And so then now you feel like, oh my gosh, now you look like you're jealous of the other person. And that's what the narcissist loves. They love to try to make you jealous of another person. They will triangulate you, like you're out in public, and they'll triangulate you with the waitress. Well, she's awfully nice. She's pretty. They'll triangulate you with anybody. They'll triangulate you with the cashier. And they make a habit of it. Every time you go out into public with the narcissist, they make a habit of triangulating you. Like they go look for women who they deem attractive or more attractive than you, and they will triangulate you with that woman. That woman's just innocent. She's in there shopping at Hobby Lobby, or she's in there shopping at wherever. It could be Goodwill. She's in there shopping at Walmart, and here he is, or she, trying to find someone to triangulate you with, trying to get that other person's attention. And we as women, we recognize when a man is doing this. When a man is with another woman, no matter how beautiful she is, if he is attracted to me, I know it. But the problem is that these men aren't really attracted to the other person. They're just trying to slowly chip away at the esteem of the person that they're with, because the more fragile the person they're with, the more esteem broken, the less confidence that person has, the easier they are to feed on. Remember, narcissists are feeders. They have to feed on someone else's energy. They do not have the capacity to generate their own energy. And so they will feed on you by triangulating you, breaking down your self-esteem, breaking down your confidence, and controlling you that way. They will triangulate you by controlling, like I said, they may speak about somebody else's weight. Then every time you eat something, you sure you need that? You saw how much weight Joyce lost, or you saw how much weight Tiffany lost, and you're over here eating whatever, And so they gaslight you, and so they gaslight you, and they make you self-doubt yourself. They make you self-doubt what you're seeing. Well, maybe he didn't mean nothing. Maybe he wasn't flirting with the waitress. Maybe he was just being nice. Honey, trust your instincts. You're not overreacting. The narcissist does this to slowly make you feel like something is wrong with you, when in fact, they are the one that are just completely disrespectful, and they're masters at it. So they'll do it in a way that they can look at you and say, something's wrong with you. You're always accusing me of stuff. And you know exactly what you saw, right? It's a form of domestic violence. They may bring up the person's name during intimate moments. You know what I'm saying? Now you're in the bed with this person, and you know doggone well you heard them say somebody else's name. Oh, something, you're just out of your mind. You're just crazy. Blah, blah. Oh, they love feeding when you're vulnerable like that. When you're vulnerable, where you're no more vulnerable than you are in the bedroom, and they love feeding on that. They could triangulate you. These freaking roaches are so doggone disturbing that they might triangulate you with something like pornographic material. Like you're not in the mood, right? Which happens to everybody. And they will triangulate you with stuff like watching, they'll turn on porn or something while you're in the bed with them. Or after you've already been intimate, they'll turn on porn, and you're just sitting there like, God dang. They try to make you feel insecure any way that they possibly can, and they will feed on your energy like vultures. You've been abused emotionally, physically, spiritually, and you are just, nothing is there, but they will still feed on it like maggots. These roaches are something else. Let me tell you something. So when they triangulate 3 people, right, 3 or more people, because they could be triangulating you with the waitress and then texting somebody else on social media, liking and doing stuff like that. Oh, did you see such and such's post? Da, 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 da. And then you go look at such and such's post, and she's there in a bathing suit or something. And then, so he's triangulating you with the social media. And then when the waitress comes, he's flirting with the waitress. The waitress is even looking like, you're like, girl, do you know what you're in? You know what I'm saying? It's humiliating, and it's draining. And these roaches, they need all that energy. They need it. They're feeding on the post. They're feeding on you. They're feeding on the waitress. I call it a narcissistic frenzy. Now, they will do this frenzying tactic when they have been, when they've been, like if they've had a narcissistic wound or their ego's been broken some way, then they will triangulate, make this frenzy energy because they need to refuel. Because when a narcissist has a narcissistic wound, they get drained. It's like somebody came and took the fuel plug out and all the fuel drained out. If they've been shamed or they've been put on blast, or someone has exposed them in some way, they get extremely drained, and so they need to get that narcissistic feed. So they'll triangulate, get a few people involved so they can feed on 3 or 4 people at the same time, or 3 people at the same time. Honey, it is a mess. You can't make this crap up. So they sow discord between you and someone else. Prime example of this. I was 21 years old and I wanted to go to college. I wanted to start my career. The narcissist went into frenzy mode. Started triangulating me with some other so-called friend at the time. She really wasn't a friend, but he knew that, so he was triangulating me with her. Very beautiful woman, but she was also very promiscuous, and she had like three different, not speaking bad about people who have different children with different men. I'm not, but at the time I had no children, and she had like three children with three different men. And so she was just that girl, And so this narcissist triangulated me with her and said that, well, first of all, how beautiful she was. And she was beautiful. I'm not gonna say she wasn't beautiful. She just lacked a little bit of integrity. So he would say, I missed it. I left this part out. He had an affair with her at some point. That's why we were not friends. And so then he says that, when I start talking about college and maybe going into the military or getting a job or something, really it was college and the military, they start saying stuff like, well, I want a baby. I want a child. Well, I don't really want any children right now. I want to start my life. I want to go to college. I want to join the military. Well, if you join the military, you can't be with me. Baby, if I knew then what I know now. I'm trying to give y'all a heads up so you don't fall into this trap. Any man that does not want you to go live your dreams and be who you want to be does not love you. They are trying to control you. They want you to be what they want you to be so they can keep control over you. So he went on and on and on about how she just was so fertile and how she was just having children and how fertile and beautiful she was, and that my insides were like a graveyard because I wouldn't give him a child. Baby, if I had known what I know now, I would have put a tombstone on that bitch and called it a day. I'm telling you. Anywho, so he gaslit me and triangulated me with this person for months. So finally I said, okay, I'll have a baby. Now, I don't regret my child, but looking back on it, he manipulated me to make me feel like that I wasn't woman enough to have a child, that I wasn't as good as the person that he would go off and have an affair with, that everything about me was rotten and dead. But what he really wanted to do was he wanted to stop my goals. These narcissistic men do that. They will entrap you with the pregnancy so that they can control your life and feed on you forever. So I did go on to do what I wanted to do, but it was years later because now I had to focus on my child. Right? But I look back on it and realized how he had triangulated me. How he had used this to control me. Instinctively, women know that we, or traditionally, my generation and back, right? This new generation, they ain't having it. They don't want no babies. Baby, they plan B, plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They got a plan. But we didn't have that. And so we were conditioned to believe that we were supposed to be the cook, the housekeeper, the baby maker, the sex worker, the therapist. We were supposed to be all that, or we weren't good women. Society, right? And so the narc triangulated me with this person. Although this person was a single mother with 3 children by 3 different men, he still triangulated with me, triangulated her with me to coerce me into getting pregnant. These people will violate your bodies in that manner. Pregnancy is not an easy feat. It is not an easy journey. Everything in your body changes, everything. And so they will violate your entire body just to have control over you, just to be able to feed. And then the second you get pregnant, then they really feed on you. Now they're triangulating you with the baby that isn't even born yet. Let me tell you something about these cockroaches, honey. They good and nasty. So they will do that. They use triangulation in any way that they can. So how do you handle triangulation? First of all, you watch videos like mine and you learn the signs and symptoms of what people are doing, because so-called love, intimacy, good sex can make you blind. It just closes every eye, both eyes and the third eye. You just walk around blind, right? And so they use this to their advantage. So how do you work this? Like I said, you see the signs, you see that they're trying to triangulate you, see that they're trying to make you jealous. Don't project on the other person. The other person is just a tool to get to you. So don't project on the other person. Don't get on social media saying, oh, you liking my man's post, he liking your post. Don't do any of that. Do something that's referred to as gray rock. Gray rock is when you respond, you don't react. And when you respond, you say the least amount of words. Oh, Tiffany is fine. I can't believe how pretty she is. I agree. Don't go into, yeah, I know. I wish I was that size, and I wish my hair looked like that, and I wish I had a job. But don't go into all that. They feed on that like piranhas. So gray rocking is the method, especially if you can't get away from them. Like if you're in a public space and they start triangulating you, you don't want to go off and be like, why are you disrespecting me with the waitress and I can't? That's what they're shooting for. Gray rock them. The waitress comes to the table, you speak to the waitress. You doing all right tonight? That's good. Don't respond to anything they're doing. Now, and if you are the waitress that's being triangulated, focus on the woman. Ask her what she wants. Ask her, focus on the person that you recognize as being triangulated. Don't give the narc any attention. Like when you come to the table, your conversation is with the woman. What would y'all like to drink tonight? Or with the person that's being victimized. It could be the man being victimized. But in this context, I'm speaking about the man triangulating the woman. So it's called gray rocking, right? These men will stop your career. They will destroy your body. And then they will abuse you at your most vulnerable state. So you have to see the signs in advance before you fall into that trap. I'm so happy that the women of this generation have all of this information out here for them that can save them from this dilemma. The reason the empath gets trapped in this is because they're trapped in that whole delusion of Disneyland, Disney, where the prince comes up and all this crap. And it's never that. It's never that. Women, you are being used as a baby maker, a housekeeper, a sex worker, a therapist, an energetic feed. Very few men are worthy of that type of work for a ring. Listen to me. The wedding day is for you. The marriage is for them. Because after you get finished with your white dress and your ring and your cake and everybody saying congratulations and hitting you in the head with rice, from that point on, you are a live-in maid. And you're not getting paid for it. Right? So this is just a heads up about the triangulation, how to spot it, how to see what's happening. It's not you. You're not crazy. You're not seeing things. You're not insecure. You're not jealous. He is trying to provoke these things in you. All of those things are really his emotions that he's projecting onto you and using a third party to make it happen. Well, that's all I have for you today here on Closing the Gap. I hope that I've said something that can assist you on your journey, that can give you a heads up so that you can dodge that bullet. And wishing you the best on your journey. This is from the empath's perspective. If you like my content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Drop a comment down at the bottom so that I can see, have you experienced this? Share with me, have you experienced something like this? Yeah. And if you really like my vibe, don't forget to hit the bell notification so that you know the next time that I upload. Thank you for tuning into my channel, Closing the Gap, where we make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing in your spiritual journey. We'll see you next time.